Coldplay. What do they actually sound like? This actually sounds like the show where I figure out what influential music actually sounds like. I'm Jim Lill, musician in Nashville, and I've made a couple YouTube videos. So this show is about catching up on extremely popular things that I have just somehow missed for most of my life, or maybe they've been on in the background and I've just never listened to them with intentional ears. And I don't know what they sound like, and people cite them all the time. They're like, "Oh, I love Coldplay. Can you do the Coldplay thing?" No, I can't do the Coldplay thing because I don't know what that is. So Coldplay is a band that is a popular band, and they are pop music, or maybe alt, or maybe they're not indie. They're like major. They're huge. But I have very few previous associations with who these people are, so that brings us to the first segment. What the heck does Jim know? What the heck does Jim know? Okay, so Coldplay. What do I know about Coldplay? I know clocks. I know clocks. Dee-doo-doo, dee-doo-doo, dee-doo, dee-doo-doo, dee-doo-doo, dee-doo. I know that. I know that's piano of some kind or some kind of keys instrument. I have a friend who briefly picked up like an electric keyboard, and he just wanted to be able to play clocks. He wanted to be able to go dee-doo-doo, dee-doo-doo, dee-doo. I know that they had Yellow. Yellow is a song. I've mostly only heard that like used as a reference, like whenever something is yellow. Like, oh, look at that yellow street sign. And it was all yellow. Like, that's the only thing that I know about that. I haven't listened to that song all the way through before. I know they have a song called Fix You. I haven't heard their song Fix You, but when I was in college, I heard my roommate sing the song Fix You. So in college, my sophomore year, I got super, super, super lucky and was by myself in the dorm room. Like, the other guy who I was supposed to be with didn't show up. So it was just me, and that's great. I'm an only child. I'm like way used to that. I much, much prefer that over having to like cohabitate. And then my next year, junior year, it happened again. The same thing happened. So like I was supposed to be with a guy. He never showed up, just wasn't there. So I had a whole like room to myself. This was amazing. Then it's toward the end of the first semester junior year, I think. Then there was like some other guy who had problems with his roommate. And so he was looking for a new place, and they just like placed him with me because they were like, okay, two people, one person. Oh, let's put him with the one person. So this guy I don't think he was like a music major. He definitely wasn't a music major. I don't know what music education he had prior. I know he liked music. I think he was like a business guy, like a business student or something. But he had a ukulele, and I just remember, like, in the background, I'd be working on stuff, and he'd be singing, and I will fix you, like, on ukulele, like, over and over. He knew, like, 2 songs, and, like, that was one of them. So I have some, like, previous associations with that song that aren't favorable to Chris Martin and company. Another thing I know, Chris Martin's the main guy. I know that fans of Coldplay love Coldplay. I know there's that thing with the cheating CEO, and I didn't know anyone who liked Coldplay when I was a kid. Like I was a kid and they were popular, and I probably like had some of that in the background, but like I don't remember anyone wearing Coldplay t-shirts. I don't remember any of the guys in my grade ever saying anything about Coldplay. The guys in my grade, they liked rock, metal. Some of them liked pop. Some of them liked rap. Some of them liked hip hop. Some of them liked country. I don't remember anyone liking Coldplay where I grew up, and this would have been like farmland, mid-Michigan kind of stuff. Maybe some of the girls like Coldplay. I can't remember. But yeah, this just wasn't very present for whatever reason where I was. So that's pretty much everything that I have going in here. And I like to have like a guitar tone with me throughout the episodes so that I can kind of have something that's sort of appropriate. Like, this is probably okay. I don't know. I don't know what Coldplay is. I don't even know if they have electric guitar. So normally I'll do some research and I'll do it here on the podcast. And then I'll like, kind of edit out the boring parts and whatever. And for the first time, I just totally on a whim decided to live stream this. So I live streamed it on the Actually Sounds Like YouTube channel earlier today, and this is what that was. This is my first time trying this. I'm just seeing how this kind of works out. Okay. Hello. Guitar tone. What does it actually sound like? Actually sounds like the live stream where I figure out how to get this certain guitar tone I'm going to be doing. I'm Jim Lill, musician in Nashville. I made some YouTube videos. I haven't done any live streams, so this is a bit new for me. But the goal here is to do the part of the show where I research guitar tone and see if this is a part that I can just do like live to stream. One big step in this also is just figuring out like what song is the song. And on the off chance anyone watching is actually like a fan of the bands that I'm concerned about today, then maybe you could help me out with that kind of thing. So today, what bands are we working on? But today I'm doing Coldplay, so I have to figure out, like, first and foremost, what the heck song do I care about? So usually what I'll do is I'll kind of start here and then just look through their singles. Chances are their most famous song is somewhere on here. See how tall these rows are? This is like a big one. Whatever this is, Viva La Vida. I don't even remember that. I was around, but I don't remember that one. Is there any other super tall one? Yes, right here, Fix You. I do kind of know that. Speed of Sound, don't really know that. Clocks, I do know that one. The Scientist, I don't know that one. Help me out. Is there any Coldplay fans? Coldplay fans, make yourself known. MK Ryan says Yellow would be the Coldplay pick for sure. Now, Jumbotron song, if you know, you know. Ha ha ha. I don't know what song they were playing during that. I thought Coldplay was mostly piano. Yeah, I just ran into a thing with, so I think next week's episode is going to be Oasis. And I was like listening through, no, I wasn't listening through. This was the problem. I was researching, I was doing this research, and I was doing it about Wonderwall. Wonderwall's the big song. So I was like, okay, Wonderwall, I've heard of that one. That's like a huge song. So I was doing all this research, and I was learning, like, okay, Noel Gallagher uses this, he used these electric guitars, he uses these amps, this is what he would have been using on that album. Okay, cool. Then I listened to the song, and there's like no electric guitar in the song. Like there's maybe a kind of arpeggio off to the left, but it's like acoustic, and so I pivoted, and I was like, okay, I'm going to copy the acoustic tone for this. So if Yellow by Coldplay has guitar in it, does it have guitar in it? Is there like an electric guitar where it's like, oh yeah, that electric guitar part, the part where he goes, like there's some kind of melody that goes with it? I thought Coldplay was mostly piano. Yeah, Coldplay's a lot of piano for sure. It does, but it's simple, not really all. Okay. The guitar in Coldplay is uninteresting in general. Yes, it might be, but I don't know that for sure. That's what this is all about. The guitar on Yellow is one of the more obvious guitar parts in the Coldplay hits. Talk is another time. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll do Yellow. Yellow 2000 reached number 4 on the UK charts. Oh yeah, they're from UK. Okay. 48 on the US charts, 6-time platinum. 4 times platinum in the US. I can deal with that. 4 times platinum in the US, that's pretty big. Okay, a lot of extra time. There we go. Recording Coldplay's Parachutes sound on sound. Ken Nelson recording Coldplay's Parachutes. Let's see here. Ken Nelson favors old school recording based around clean signal pass, live playing, and analog tape, but that hasn't stopped him working with some of the hottest new bands in Britain. Among them are Coldplay, whose debut Parachutes album crashed straight into the charts at number 1. I like bands who can play live, insists Ken Nelson. That's what I've done more or less all my recording life. I try to get bands to play together. That's the way they rehearse, that's the way they play live, so why change anything when you go to the studio? Because some bands aren't good at it, that's why you change when you go to the studio. Coldplay was probably really good at it. It's an old-fashioned approach, but one that brought Nelson considerable success, along with the opportunity to work with some of the most exciting new bands around. This still has not told me a single drum head or microphone that they use. Okay, precise placement. This is like off to the side. Ken Nelson's fondness for classic recording techniques leads him to place great emphasis on proper mic placement. He explains some of the techniques used on Coldplay's albums. I tend to use quite a lot of mics on drums, although we may just use the overheads and bass drum mic in the mix. Okay, valid. He sets up the mics, but he knows how to hit the mute button if he needs to. But I'm the kind of person who will try to cover every eventuality. I'll mic toms top and bottom for, okay, for example. All right. So maybe this article is part of the reason that some people mic toms on the bottoms and then mute them later. Obviously, this causes you more problems with phase and the phase relationship between the mics. But with a little bit of time and a patient drummer, it works. For the snares, it'll be an SM57 top and bottom. Have you ever like crawled up under a drum kit and just put your ear to the bottom head of the snare while the drummer's playing? Oh, it sounds great, man. It sounds great. So much tone. On hi-hats, I'll use a Sennheiser 451, or we have Neumann KM84s here, which I like. Generally, I'll use AKG C414s over the kit, or Neumann U87s, depending on what's around. And AKG D12 or D112 or Neumann U47 on bass drum. For toms, I tend to use Sennheiser 421s top and bottom if I've got them. Yeah. Why is that? Why did that happen? There's this thing where Sennheiser 421s are just tom mics. And they're good tom mics. I'm curious, like, who started that? Who got the idea that you want to have 421s on toms? Because I see it all over the place. So many different styles, so many toms that don't sound the same as each other in the final product. And if I've got a room like the big one at Par Street, I'll have a couple of room mics, U87s, or I like B&K Omnis. Also, here they have biodynamic pressure zone mics, big wooden boxes. They're really good. You just put them on the floor. I don't like the sound of DI'd acoustic guitar. I'll usually use KM84s again or U87. That's completely sensible. Yeah, DI'd acoustic guitar sounds different. I love it when I see people say stuff like where it's like, I don't like this, but I do like this, and the two things are like way different from each other. So it's like, yes, I believe you. They're all good mics. It's just a case of placing them. What I tend to do sometimes is have something like a KM84 cardioid mic, and I'll have, say, a 414 set on figure of 8 as a room mic, because that way you get a bit of the room sound. For acoustics? Are we talking acoustic guitars? You want room sound on like an acoustic guitar? You want like a mono room sound on acoustic guitar? Because that's what that would be if you're getting like figure 8 is front and back, but it's in one like cable that goes to one preamp. I like to record piano with two mics as a crossed pair of cardioids, one to pick up the high end and one the low end. But on treble, I just had two microphones. One was a brighter sounding microphone, one was a fuller sound. I just wanted to keep it quite simple, and we ended up using the fuller sound in the mix. So a mono piano, okay. It depends on the situation. When we were recording in one room, I'd possibly only use one mic just to keep the spillage down a little. But if you're recording a piano properly, you need to get the mics away from it. That's always the best way. And like I'm learning the same time as you guys. I don't do anything with pianos. Parachutes, track by track. Okay, cool. Let's skip over to Yellow. We started recording that one upstairs in the project studio. The problem we had with Yellow was getting the tempo just right, because a beat either side of the tempo we picked didn't have the same groove. I lost the feel of it. So we got it live, and then Johnny overdubbed his guitars and we did the vocals. We did the backing vocals, the falsetto oohs and ahs in the control room as we worked them out. It all sounds very easy, but it was quite intense because we recorded it 2 or 3 times until we were happy with what we got. You can imagine that if you've recorded something and put quite a lot into it, then to decide that you're going to do it again can be quite depressing. Yes, it can. I have experienced that before. You get to the end of it, and then the engineer says, "What if the snare drum was tuned half a step higher?" All right, everybody back out there. Facilities at Par Street consisted of 2 large studios, one SSL-based and one Neve-based. Hey, I've been to studios with both those things before. I've run a bunch of signals through both of those consoles before. Smaller project demo studio upstairs, which Gomez has used. Nelson and Coldplay has worked in all 3. Quite a lot of the album was actually tracked in the project studio. Oh, cool. Ken Nelson's approach to the recording process is best described as classic. He prefers to record to analog, 2-inch tape, if possible, bypassing the desk's mic amps and using high-quality standalone preamps instead. It's a good idea. Gotta get that tone. As the album went on, there were a couple songs that we couldn't quite get on analog. Yellow was one of them. We tried it a few different ways. I read that. I would really love to know, did he like look at the guitar amp that was being used by chance, or like? All right, here we go. There's a new segment called Command F. Command F into the room. Okay. And I'm not seeing. Please tell me something about this guitar. Okay, here's what I am learning. I am learning something. This is real. Okay. The guitar player was named Johnny. That's going to come in handy. It's going to come in handy later, I promise. Guitar effects, here we go. Okay, dealing with guitar effects. One challenge facing recording engineers working with guitarists can be persuading the guitarist that it might be more useful to record clean than via their elaborate effects rig, so as to keep more options open at the mixing stage. Okay, so I'm going to read that. I'm going to use my personal experience, and I'm going to try to metabolize this as saying, mix engineers probably don't like it when you have too much delay. If you have too much delay, or if the delay is timed wrong, then that is not something that is mixable away. And so that's probably what he's talking about here. Ken Nelson explains how he got around this problem. Johnny has a Fender Twin reverb. Hey, we did it! We did it! Yes, okay, all right. Johnny has a Fender Twin reverb. I can use that. I can use that information. And he has all these delays going into it. And it was quite a delayed sort of sound. And I was thinking, how am I going to get around that? I just wanted to have the option of a bit more dryness. Yes, exactly. Awesome. Cool. They had another Fender Twin reverb, a slightly different version. And I said, what would be great would be if you could use both amps, one having all your delays going into it, and one that's completely dry. Because I'm not a great one for effects. I'd rather hear a guitarist who plugs straight into his amp and gets his sound. But Johnny's quite good. He has a little rat distortion pedal. Yes! All right! He has a rat distortion pedal. Okay, Fender Twin Reverb, lots of delays, a rat, and recorded wet dry through 2 different twin reverbs. This is great. Okay, but he uses it very subtly just to change the sound live and add a little bit of grit to it. So he'll have a fairly clean sound on the amp and then a little bit of grit from his box. All his affected sounds would come out of one amp. So we'd mic that up and mic the dry one as well. So every time we'd record both amps. I think that worked really well. Both were used in the mix and we just balanced it. And then reverb was added because his sound is fairly reverb heavy. He likes it to be toward the back of the soundscape. Sweet, I can do that. So not like this. There was no reverb on the amp itself. We used proper digital reverb. This is awesome. This is great to know. This is so good to know. Now, what I really want to know, proper digital reverb, does he mean in the mix? Or does he mean a digital reverb into the amp? I'm going to say no reverb on the amp itself means there was no reverb going into the amp. Also, obviously, that means a spring reverb like on the amp itself in a more literal way was not used. It'd go through quite a few delays. He's got a WEM copycat, which kept sort of slowing down. The tape loop would sometimes stick because it's quite old, and it would produce strange choruses and delays. It wasn't perfectly in time. And he has a lexicon effects processing unit, which he uses for the delays again. And the only other effects that he uses are tremolo and wah-wah. Tremolo? It was all tremolo. Cool. That's what I wanted. I wanted this this purple section right here. I know it's 2 twin reverbs. I know it's a tape delay. I know it might be multiple tape delays. What I need to do... Coldplay Johnny Guitars. Johnny Buckland. Musical style equipment. Yes. Buckland plays a Fender Telecaster Thinline 1972. I have one of those. I have the reissue from 2005. That was my first good guitar. My first good guitar ever was a Fender Telecaster Thinline. That is 550 miles away from me right now. I don't have like wide range humbuckers down here. Is he the guy? Is he the guy that made this like the cool guitar? Is this why on the cover of Modern Day Drifter Dirk Bentley had a Fender Telecaster Thinline? Was he a Coldplay fan? Was that just cool at the time? Is that why like a bunch of pop punk bands started using the black version of that? Because Coldplay was so popular and so that guitar was in the atmosphere in the mid-2000s. The same way that for some reason starting in like 2018 Jazzmasters became like an acceptable guitar to play in popular bands. Fender Classic Series from Johnny's Guitar Tech. I can't remember where he picked it up, maybe Chicago, but if you're interested, it's a 72 Thinline from about 1974. What a hilarious sentence. It's a 72 Thinline from about 1974. Brother, it's a 74 Thinline. It's half hollow, so semi-acoustic, I guess. Nope. It's a lot of really nice gouges on it from being thoroughly whacked. And, all still original, as far as I know. As far as you know, here's Guitar Tech. I reckon it must have cost him about $2,000 US, but God knows what it'd be worth now. You can get a pretty good Fender copy reissue these days for a lot less, off the peg. That might turn out lovely after a few years of playing it. I guess it would look cooler if you dinged it up, yes. That's the thing. Any old guitar can be amazing if you love it enough. Sure, cool. Word on the street is that Johnny specifically used a Fender Jaguar for yellow. Oh, no! Oh, no! Does the guitar matter? The guitar does matter. It does matter, especially if this choice is 72 Thinline or Fender Jaguar. Those two are different. Not because of like the semi-hollow or whatever. Because a wide range humbucker picks up a radically different part of the string than like a little thin Fender Jaguar pickup. Even though I could probably get close or something, it's just like a little bit easier if I at least know like where was the pickup, what was the circuit topology of the amp, what kind of cab was being used, is it 4x12 or is it 1x10? Like those things kind of go into it. And then obviously knowing like, was the delay before or after the amp? If it was distorted, then that would matter. Was the reverb before or after the amp? If it was distorted, like that thing would kind of matter. Okay, so these are some Coldplay guitars that are isolated. Kind of, sort of. So it starts out with acoustic, and then it goes into electric on the left side with the acoustic. Then there's an over-the-top, like kind of lead electric thing. And a more distorted electric is in there too, and then this is the verse. And the solo is like this. A very clean guitar, just doing like kind of like, just doing kind of sixths. And I don't have a very isolated example of any of those. The best that I can get is just this verse guitar. And if you do like a mid-side processing of that and just take the mid out and do the sides, then you get a little bit more percentage of that electric guitar. but there's still acoustic in there. So for this one, I'm not going to do an exact match, but I'm going to do a like kind of sort of match. Okay, to start out with, this is a Fender Twin. This is what a Fender Twin sounds like. Cool, we're there. This is with the drive on 4, and then the cab has like a 57 at the edge of the cab. Perfect. Or not perfect, we're not striving for perfection here, we're just trying to get okay, we're getting decent. That's pretty decent. Okay, so let's listen again. So the thing I'm hearing there is it might be like middle pickup. It sounds a bit more like middle pickup to me. So I kind of wonder if there's like a Stratocaster or Nashville Telly or something like in there for that particular rhythm guitar. Then to add the space, it seems like there's some reverb, so I just did a dynamic hall reverb 4 seconds. Yeah, that's some reverb. That might be longer than what they're doing, but some reverb is better than no reverb if I hear some reverb, right? And then delay. It said he used a lot of delay. This is a transistor tape delay model, and I turned it on. It's about 300 milliseconds, and pretty low mix, because I don't hear, if it was high mix, it'd be this. This is what like a high mix would be. I don't hear that happening. It's not like eating the original note, so just have it down here a little bit, and then just a little bit in the background. Yeah, so that's decent. That's kind of close to at least that guitar part, but what about the other guitar part? So that's super duper duper clean, and to get that one I kind of copied everything over, and I increased the headroom because I didn't realize that was a control on this transistor tape thing, so more headroom, and then a little bit less drive, less treble, make it darker, take the cab, kick the mic out to the side a bit more so it's darker, dark, 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 dark. And this is what I came up with for that, so original and then me. And then somewhere in here, there is some distorted bridge pickup thing, I think. Because there's distortion going on. So if I take that solo tone, put on the Rat, what does that sound like? Let's find out. Okay, not too much. Turn the gain up. Is that akin to something that is happening here? And yeah, I think I'm in the ballpark. I think I'm in the ballpark more than if I did Pour Some Sugar on Me. I think I'm more in the ballpark than if I did Purple Haze. I think I'm more in the ballpark than if I did Whole Lotta Love. And I'm pretty sure I'm more in the ballpark than if I did Pantera. And that brings us to our next segment, reading the Wikipedia. Most people do this first and then shoot the video, pretend that they're an expert, but I'm just gonna do it right now. Coldplay are a British rock band formed in London in 1997. They consist of vocalist and pianist Chris Martin, guitarist Johnny Buckland, bassist Guy Berryman, and drummer Will Champion. Manager Phil Harvey is also credited as a full member. The group are known for their live performances and have had significant impact on popular culture. This is a picture of Coldplay at Wembley Stadium in 2025. From left, Johnny Buckland, Chris Martin, Guy Berryman, and Will Champion. Coldplay initially went by the names Big Fat Noises and Starfish. Following the independent release of the EP Safety in 1998, the band signed a record deal with Parlophone in 1999 and issued their debut album Parachutes in 2000, which included the breakthrough single Yellow. The album won a Brit Award for the British Album of the Year and a Grammy Award for the Best Alternative Music Album. Wow, Grammy right off the bat. Okay, the follow-up, A Rush of Blood to the Head, 2002, earned the same accolades. Another Grammy, another Brit Award. X and Y, 2005, concluded what Coldplay viewed as a trilogy, and their fourth album, Viva La Vida, or Death and All His Friends, 2008, won a Grammy Award for Best Rock Album. Both releases topped the charts in over 30 countries, becoming the best sellers of their respective years worldwide. Viva La Vida's title track was the first song by a British act to reach #1 in the United States and United Kingdom simultaneously in the 21st century. Yeah, that's big. The albums Milo, Xyloto 2011, Ghost Stories 2014, A Head Full of Dreams 2015, Everyday Life 2019, Music of the Spheres 2021, and Moon Music 2024 drew from genres such as electronica, R&B, ambient, disco, funk, gospel, blues, and progressive rock. Music of the Spheres included the single My Universe, which was the first song by a British group to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And the band's Music of the Spheres World Tour is the most attended and second highest grossing tour of all time, becoming the first boy band to gross $1 billion. Okay, yes, this is insane. That is all insane. My Universe. My Universe is a song recorded by British rock band Coldplay and South Korean pop group BTS. Is it a collaboration or did BTS cover it? Single by Coldplay and BTS. All right. I don't know anything about BTS. I just know that they're like the most popular group in the world. Either now or 5 years ago, and I don't know which. A documentary, Coldplay, A Head Full of Dreams, was released in 2018 for Coldplay's 20th anniversary. In 2023, they featured on the inaugural Time 100 Climate List. Time 100 Climate List. I'm guessing that they're like, I don't know, big environmental people. With over 160 records sold worldwide, Coldplay are one of the best-selling music acts of all time. They are also the first group in this streaming service's history to reach 100 million monthly listeners. Fuse listed them as the most awarded artists, and they've had a bunch of accolades. Okay, cool. That gives me some background on who these guys are. They're huge. They have big live shows. They sell a lot of music. Let me see their discography. So we're going to go to the discography, and I'm going to look at their singles. Looking down their singles list, they have... Okay, 1999 is their first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, featuring Jay-Z. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 with Rihanna. 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 with the Chainsmokers. Okay, so they like collaborate with just other mega popular things that are current a lot, apparently. Like Jay-Z, Rihanna, Chainsmokers, BTS. I lost track of where I was, but they have like over 30 singles. So my goal is to whittle this down to 10. I'm going to get down to 10 big ones, but there are so many big ones. So wish me luck, and you'll see a time lapse. Here we go. All right, here's what we got. Here's what we got for Coldplay. Coldplay, 10 songs. It's actually 11 songs because they had so many multi-platinum songs. I couldn't narrow it down to less than 11 multi-platinum songs. Yellow, 2000 from the album Parachutes. The Scientist, 2002 from A Rush of Blood to the Head. Clocks, 2003 from A Rush of Blood to the Head. Fix You, 2005 from X and Y. Viva La Vida, 2008 from Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends. Paradise, 2011 from Milo Xylotto. I forgot that Paradise was Coldplay. I knew the song Paradise. I remember a bunch of like voice majors liking the song Paradise and liking the song... What's the One Republic song? Counting Stars. That's the other one. So I associate those two together as like big, high guy, floofy vocals and a bunch of sounds that kind of are blurry. A Sky Full of Stars, 2014, Ghost Stories. Adventures of a Lifetime, 2015, A Head Full of Dreams. Hymn for the Weekend, 2016, from A Head Full of Dreams. Something Just Like This with the Chainsmokers, 2017, from Memories Do Not Open. And My Universe with BTS, 2021, Music of the Spheres. So these are all super, super, super mega popular songs, and I'm going to catch up. I have all of my tabs open, and before I do anything with those, there's one thing left to do, and that is take the pledge. The pledge of actually sounds like, here we go. I pledge to accept everything I'm about to hear as the truth of what the music actually is, regardless of any words, associations, connotations, and cultural opinions that entered my brain first. Here we go. This is Coldplay, Yellow. Starts out with acoustic guitar. I recognize that acoustic guitar. And then electric guitar. I recognize that. Okay, very driving, very eighth notes. Not completely in tune. I kind of thought it was going to be more polished than that. Big snare sound. Big, open, ringy snare sound. This is not like a taped down Fleetwood Mac thing.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you.
Okay. Almost like a proto James Blunt. That's falsetto. Kind of a wavy boy voice. This is retroactively explaining like a lot to me right now. I've heard guys sing like this, but like less good. Like trying to do this and coming up short is a certain thing in my brain. Okay, this might be an alternate tuning or something. They love their open strings. I can hear that like droning. Unison vocal, doubled. the oohs and ahs are all the way off to the side. They're like hard left and right.
You know I love you so.
Man, that guitar tone's kind of confusing because there are many aspects of this that are like kind of ethereal and big and polished and pixie dust. And that guitar tone's pretty garagey. Or maybe it's not the tone, maybe it's just the playing. Like the playing is kind of garagey. Like things are pulled a little out of tune.
I swam across, I jumped across for you.
I don't need to look at this guy anymore. I think that gets the point of the video. But yeah, I like it better when I'm not seeing it.
'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do.
So this was happening. This is just like, this is like polite British Nickelback almost. Like it's all eighth notes.
Just you.
Ding, 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 ding.
To something beautiful. You know, for you I bleed myself dry. For you I bleed myself dry.
The fact that that lead guitar is out of tune when it's like, when it goes into that is like really interesting to me. Yeah, that's, everyone hears that. I'm not the only one hearing it. Like it's there. It's not arguable. When that lead guitar comes in, it's like bending up into the notes or something like. More aggressive than that. And then like, I don't know, there's something super funky about it. Like I would expect that if you were to do that and you just wanted it to sound like those notes, you would just go. You just kind of put your finger across the 7th fret and you would just Johnny B. Good yourself into that sound super easy. In a guitar that's like, you know, in tune. But he's doing it like something different. What the heck is that? Okay, right here. Oh, here's something funny about this kind of thing. Okay, so this guy who is singing this, it seems like the entire video is an uncut, one shot, walking along the beach, but he's walking in slow motion, right? So in order to accomplish that, he had to lip sync to the song at 2x speed. So when he was actually doing this in real life, here, let me see. It might have been 1.5, but like, let's just pretend. It looked like this. Like that's how you have to do that if you want to make that music video. Anyway, continuing. Is he bending? Is he going like... And that's why it's rubbing so much? I think he is. At least in the outro. Oh! Introducing 5 minor? 98% of the way through the song they introduce a 5 minor. Whoa. That's the first non-diatonic that they did the entire song. Okay, so that's what Yellow sounds like. Huh. What's my takeaway? What's important about this song? Holy eighth notes, eighth notes, eighth notes, eighths. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the whole song is eighth notes. I like eighth notes. I like a ton of music that's eighth notes. That's very eighth note heavy. It's just weird because I didn't know that Coldplay was gonna be that. I kind of thought that Coldplay, and they may turn out to be this. I've heard one song, but I thought that Coldplay was gonna be way more Radiohead than Oasis. But the guitars in this are definitely more Oasis. The lead vocal is more Radiohead. Interesting thing. Huh. I'm like recontextualizing a bunch of guitar players I've met and the way that they play and the way that they sound with the existence of this. I've heard a bunch of people layer a bunch of effects. So many effects. They have their tube amps, they go in stereo, they have a wet dry, they have multiple delays, they have big reverbs, they have whatever. And then they just play eighth notes. And I'm like, okay, all right. But I'm hearing the influence. I'm seeing like, okay, this existed and was super, super popular 25 years ago. So there have been 25 years of this existing as like an influential thing. I now have this in my back pocket. This opens up new possibilities for me if someone says I want the Coldplay Yellow thing. Cool. Okay, so now we have The Scientist. This is from their next album. So let's take a look at what this is. Okay, piano is the only thing right now. Octave melody. Bang, bang, bang. It's still eighth notes. Dun, 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 dun. Nothing new. 2 times around with nothing new. That's kind of rare.
Come up to me.
Oh, it's this song.
I'm sorry.
Okay, haven't done this in a while. I think I did this in my first couple episodes, but this wins the award for the Oh, That's That Song award. Oh, that's that song. Why is it called The Scientist? I don't remember this. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I do passively know this song. I remember that melody. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go.
You don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you, tell you I need you, tell you I set you apart.
I can't accuse him of auto-tune at this point. Like, it sounds really good, but he's also like really transitioning between notes, like very smoothly.
To the start, running in circles, coming and
Like, it feels like a very human performance.
heads on a silence apart.
When's the bass gonna hit? Boom, 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 boom.
Nobody said
Nope.
it
Strings.
was easy.
Very, very blurry strings.
It's
Lots of
such a
reverb.
shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard.
Let's see.
I'll take
Yeah,
you
keep up.
back to the start.
So this is not a song that has like a big hook. That has like da 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 song title. Like, it doesn't have that at the end of the chorus. I'm starting to think that those strings are synths because they're never ending. Very straight. There it is. There's the band.
Just guessing at numbers and figures.
Completely different snare sound. This is the dry, papery snare. It wasn't there. My fault.
Questions of science.
It feels like a very human drum kit and like drum performance. Like, the kick drum sounds like it's a cardboard box. It's like not hyped and exaggerated. I'm gonna turn this down a bit. Yeah, I thought that the drums would be like way bigger and more polished than this. And it's like just pretty roomy and kind of understated. I heard slide in there. Oh no, where's my slide? There it is.
Nobody said it was easy. Oh, it's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard.
This is one of those songs I think would have worked like 10 BPM faster. Okay, we got a rhythm electric now. He's kind of like bending a reverby thing on the left there. Now we're back to eighth notes. Boom, boom. Double, double drum beats. Is there a weird note in there? Is there like a sour note that was in there? Yeah. And there's like a minor second interval somewhere in there where like an open string is hitting with the other stuff or something like that. I wonder how many guitars there are, like how many layers, because like I hear clean guitar on left and right, and I hear distorted guitar, and I don't think they're the same thing. They're like playing a similar thing, I think. Huh. I want to know what was all played on that. The Scientist, song, personnel. Okay. Chris Martin, lead vocals, piano, string arrangements. Arrangements implies an actual string section. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Johnny Buckland, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, string arrangements. Guy Berryman, bass guitar, string arrangements. Will Champion, drums, percussion, backing vocals, string arrangements. So there was no like mellotron, there was no synthesizer. According to this, it was like literal strings. Audrey Riley, string arrangement, string performer, and then a bunch of other string performers. Okay, that was strings. That was not synthesizer. They were just very reverby, and they were very like straight in moments. And the transitions between the chords were just like kind of like a blurry, like slow dissolve to the new chord kind of thing. Okay. That was so much more understated than what I kind of expected it to be. Maybe I'm like conflating their sound in my head with like more of a Kings of Leon sort of sound, or maybe just later on in the 2010s they were like punchier and kind of hitting harder. Okay, so The Scientist, that's what that was. Clocks. Let's talk about Clocks. Clocks is this song with the piano that goes be-doo-doo, be-doo-doo, be-doo. What is the rest of this? There it is. That is so much reverb. And there's like other stuff in there. There's other textures. That can't just come from the piano. That's got to be like... Yeah, there's a little swelling on like some kind of keys thing. Okay, okay. That, two, that, two, 1 E and 2 E and or wait, would it be double that? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 4. So swimmy. The sounds are so swimmy. And the drum sound is so understated. This is like another new snare sound. His vocal performance is good. It is really good. And they aren't drowning the lead vocal in reverb. It's dry enough to come through. The reverb is all kind of in the background. It is huge, but it's in the background. That's like a picked bass guitar. The bass guitar is the driving thing in this. It's eighth notes, but it's a bit of a different pattern. Oh, E flat. So 1, 5 minor, 5 minor, 2 minor, and then 1. God dang it, I have to figure it. Hang on. Okay, I think I got it. All right, I think it's all arpeggios, and I think it's this. All right, so that won't bug me for the rest of the song. Yeah, I would say that this is like another polite drummer. He's not reaming on it. He could be Travis Barkering right now. This is like huge. This is a huge moment of a song. But he's letting the bass player do that. And he's actually like hitting pretty polite. Oh, flat 7? Is that, or no, flat 6? Oh, straight up key change. Goes to F sharp, and then C sharp, then G sharp, major 7s, and then brick wall back in. That's weird. Well, I don't ever remember that. I have no memory of clocks doing that. Huh. Is it even related? I guess it's going to a 6. So like compare. No, that's not even right. Just a half or a step up, huh? Man, they're not afraid to let the lead vocal kind of drop below sea level here. That little pull-off move is like kind of a motif that they're using. That makes me think it's Capo 1D, at least for that guy. I mean, does that make the song make more sense? Hang on. Yeah, don't autoplay me. That's right. Okay, cool. So what if it was Capo 1? Sorry, I just got back from a show and things aren't where I remember them being. I just kind of threw stuff back on the desk. Okay, so if it's Capo 1D, then okay, yeah, I can see how that would work. Another song where it's like all eighth notes, they're just drive, 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 but the difference is that instead of doing that, they're doing heavy, heavy, heavy accents. Dotted quarter, quarter, or depending on how you count it, dotted eighth, eighth. So like, I think of it in my head because I'm not a sight reader as 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. In reality, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's 1 and 2 and, so the and of 2, 3 and 4. So 1, the and of 2 and 4. Those are you're punching on those, and then the others are like laying a bit lower. Yeah, strong motifs. Like you could, with the exception of the bridge, you could like join at any moment in this and be like, oh yeah, it's that song. There's some songs that don't have that, where like it's a bit improvised from start to finish, and if you jump in partway through, it's like, oh, I don't know. Oh, I got it. We're at the chorus now. I remember this chorus. For this one, it's like they keep that the whole time. Like very droning. I'm curious about the okay, so piano sounds. I'm gonna do something fun for the piano sounds. I can't play piano. I don't have a piano. I don't have a MIDI controller. I sold my MIDI controller a long time ago because I was like, I'm not, the music that I like the most doesn't have this element. I like music that does have this element, but if I'm gonna like focus on doing the things that like are going to matter the most for me personally, I need to be on strings. I need to be on drums. I need to like practice those things. So I was like, okay, forget it. I'll save keys for when I'm so good at the other stuff that I'm bored. I'm not there yet, and I don't think I ever will be, but I found out that I could do something with Pro Tools. Check this out. I'm just going to drag this up the screen. And keyboard. This is real. Pro Tools has a feature where you can use your computer keyboard as a MIDI keyboard. They only give you like an octave and a half, and it's constant velocity, so I can't play like dynamically or anything. But what I can do is I can at least but I can actually like there, I can do that. And this is like kind of a grand piano-ish sound. It sounds more like that than it does a B3. So I'm going to start with this. I'm curious, how much reverb do you have to add to it to make it sound like what I was hearing? So this is a reverb. This is 100% mix. Is this too much? Is 100% mix reverb too much? Let's find out. Yes, that is too much. What if we dial it back to 75? Still probably too much. How about 50%? I think we're in the ballpark now. How do I play clocks on this keyboard? Okay, I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna give this a go. This is insanity. Let's see if I can make this happen. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I should be able to take that, which is in C, because it has to be in C. It's the only place it fits. I should be able to transpose that down from C to E flat. Let's see if that actually works. Sick. Okay, it works. Okay, now let's listen again. Okay, so this is super duper plunky. I don't want it to be that plunky, so let's go model instead of hard. Let's bring it down to soft. That's too much to split the difference. What the heck? Why is it that close? How can it be that close? I'm not saying I nailed the playing or anything, but sounds-wise, like why is the most default thing in the world that close? I guess that piano modeling has had more, like, I don't know, attention than I thought it did. But like, that's not that far off. Okay, and then there just needs to be like some kind of vibey guitar in the background, some kind of like drony sort of just a note soup kind of thing. Okay, so this guitar, I'm just gonna send it through reverb and make it crazy and make it just droning. Okay, so this is my slapped together, what if it was kind of like clocks sort of thing. Sorry, I had a lot of fun with that. That was fun. All right, next song. We're on to Fix You from the next album. Ooh, this time we have a Hammond organ. That's a new element. A slow speed Hammond organ.
When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need,
Okay.
when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in rivers,
There we go.
and the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace.
So far I hear Hammond organ, maybe 2 of them. I don't really know. And then lead vocal. Now there's piano. Low harmony vocal. And there might be strings. So falsetto and so soft. Oh, there is synthesizer. Guy Berryman played bass and synthesizer. Johnny Buckland guitars, back vocals. Will Champion was drums, percussion, and Chris Martin guitars, keyboards, organ, piano, producer. Okay, so no string section. Anything I'm hearing that sounds like that would have to be like synth or just like organ. They do have their like acoustic guitar thing, that strummy acoustic guitar thing in a couple of these. This is so clearly a half step down. Do I have room? Can I do the thing? Yeah. Man, the guitars are like kind of weirdly clean and plinky plunky. Oh, this is the biggest drum sound we've had so far. He's hitting hard now. This is the sound I was thinking in my head a little bit. Kind of. So they're doing that, where's my volume? Yeah, they're doing the thing with a lot of open strings up high. Like, tons of that. There are certain songs in the key of E, like E major usually, where that's like the thesis statement of the song is like, hey, open E string up high, all the melodies on the B string, like that kind of thing. I also think I heard the synthesizer in there, like kind of up high. And this kind of has that 4-1-5 sort of thing. That's a 4. 5. Yeah. It sounds Christian. Like something in my brain is tingling that says like, this sounds Christian. Now, I don't know if that's because Christian stuff copied this later, or if these guys are themselves. This is so not important. They're not even from Franklin, Tennessee or anything. They're from like England or whatever. So I'm curious, not for like a cultural reason, just for like a musical reason. Like, is this a Christian band? No, Command F does not come up with the word Christian on their Wikipedia. Okay. I mean, that's going to suffice for me. So this one had more dynamic range. This one was not all eighth notes. This one was a little bit more than just that. This one went all the way down, all the way up, and it seemed a lot more like when I did the Radiohead episode. That's on the Patreon as the B-side to the Oasis episode. When I did the Radiohead episode, I was like, wow, these guys are in control of their dynamics. They can go down, they can go up, they can like change the feel, they can change the tempo, the key, the whatever. These guys didn't change tempo, I don't think, very much. I think that it was pretty... What would that be? It feels like it's below 70 BPM. Okay, this is 65. Da, da, no. Da, da, no. So it'd be like around 70. Dun, 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 dun. I think it's somewhere around there. That's kind of the ballpark. Okay. Now, that might sound weird because this microphone is picking up some of my actual guitar, and then what you're hearing in here is the half step down thing. So I'm just going to turn that off. Let's pretend what if it was in the key of E? And I will try to look at this photograph. Viva La Vida, new album, new era, 2008, new song, big, big hit. No idea what this is. What is this? Okay, sounds like Call Me Maybe to me, Katy Perry.
I used to rule the world. Seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep.
Well, at least what key is it?
Sweep the streets I used to
A flat. We're in A flat. So 4, 5, 1, 6.
I used to roll
With every other chord pushed.
dice. Feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd would sing.
I don't feel like I've ever heard this in my life.
King's Day.
I don't recognize this at all so far.
Minute I held the key.
He does sound like himself.
Were closed on me and I discovered
I hear strings.
so stand
I hear the, I don't know. There's like some kind of vibey guitar whale noises. I feel like I've heard other people sing this in conversation, maybe. What's the? Just give me personnel. Credits to personnel. All right. Production Brian Eno. Who's this guy? That's a familiar name. I thought he was like Beach Boys. No. That's a different guy. Pioneering contributions to ambient music and electronica. Huh. Unconventional concepts. David Bowie, David Byrne as collaborators. Okay. Alright, I hear like a kick drum, strings, some piano. I hear like movie trailer sounds. It doesn't say there's strings, it just says synthesizer. Oh no, it does say there's strings. Sorry. Davide Rossi strings. Okay, I was wrong. This is like girl pop. It doesn't like. It's like a pattern, and it's like kind of mid-level. It goes down in the verses. There's a reverby vocal. It hasn't like. It doesn't do the thing that Fix You did or that Clocks did, where it like kind of unleashes. Okay, legacy and popular culture. I don't think I've heard like electric guitar do anything. Like I saw a guy strumming there, but there wasn't like guitar or bass or drums in that. Was there guitar, bass, or drums? Hang on. Legacy in popular culture. Viva La Vida has made many media appearances, including being featured throughout the episode A Person of Interest from the paranormal drama Medium. Okay. All right. It was in TV shows. It was in TV shows. It was in the season 2 finale of a TV show. It's been sampled in several other songs, including Flo Rida's Be On You and Drake's Congratulations from his So Far Gone mixtape. Okay. It was performed by the band at One Love Manchester benefit concert, which took place in 2017 to help support and raise money for the families and friends who lost loved ones during the Manchester Arena bombing, which occurred in 2017. It's featured within the popular dancing video game Just Dance. It is one of the most streamed songs on that streaming service with over 3.1 billion plays. So that's super popular. Yeah, that song kind of just fades to the background for me. I can see how I never grabbed onto that with my ears. So music like this. Okay, music like this. I think that this is music where if you're wearing headphones and if you're laying in your bed and your eyes are closed and you're really, really into the idea of listening to that song at that moment, it can take you on a ride and you can just listen for how it doesn't ever explode because it's it's just textures that are kind of calming a little bit, but sort of pump up, but sort of whatever, just all kind of from the outside, if you're not paying attention, or if you're me and you're not used to whatever that kind of thing is, and I just go in a bit skeptical of that particular type of sound, I see it as a small little box kind of just in the center of my field of view. This is like a low resolution sort of JPEG of okay, but there's more screen that could be had if I wanted to have it. It doesn't go all the way to the edges of anything. But if you're into it, if you like that, then you can hold that up to your face closer and appreciate more of the details. The exact opposite happens so often where some people will like things that it's music specifically for the purpose of reaching out and touching every single boundary. And sometimes when I hear that, I think, well, that's kind of annoying. Why would you do that in a song? No, but you don't get it. This song is the song. They sampled 30 different cats, and so you can hear all the different cats in the whole song. And then for the beat, it turns into a rap beat. It starts out as jazz. It starts out as bebop jazz. It turns into a rap beat, and then there's all these cats sampled around it. There's music like that annoys me personally a lot of the time. But other people like it because it's just stimulus. It's just pop rocks. It's just being tased. This is not that. This is the opposite of that. This is a thing where it's it's always medium pleasant through the whole song if you're not paying close attention. But if you're paying close attention and you're a fan of it, then it will reward you for appreciating the little differences here and there from section to section. The people in my life who like the music that is just completely oh yeah, just poke me with these with these pointy objects. They look at Every Mile of Memory by Dierks Bentley and they think, oh, that's just boring. That's just boring commercial, whatever, country music, doesn't matter. And I think Every Mile of Memory is really good and satisfying to listen to, and it makes me pumped up and it makes me feel emotions. So I can see both sides of that thing if you're a fan or if you're someone from the outside. I bet that the fans of Coldplay, when they play this live, and it's an entire arena, screaming whatever the lyrics to the song are, yeah, I imagine that would be a life-changing experience. That would be a religious experience for all the fans of this. So we're getting closer to the sound I kind of had in my head, which is a bit more polished. And that's what I associated Coldplay with. We're getting away from the out-of-tune guitar and more toward the pop kind of stuff. Okay, Paradise. So strings and keys are a real constant thing here between these songs. Tons of reverb, strings and reverb and keys. I hear an electronic thing. Is that a mellotron or is that just a weird electric organ with a what Leslie thing or huh? Whoa! Straight up synth bass, right? That has to be synth bass. And that's not a real snare drum. I don't know that that's a real hi-hat or not either. Personnel. Okay, now I would suspect some maybe auto-tune. That's like pretty straight, pretty on sleep. Like, I think those are pretty locked. Okay, sorry. Chris Martin's playing the piano. Johnny Buckland's playing guitar and keyboard. Bass guitar, it says guitar. Drums, Brian Eno has synthesizers, Davide Rossi has strings.
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach.
That's like such a hip-hoppy kind of like beat. I guess maybe everything except for the... Right there, it kind of sounds like a drum kit, sort of. Yeah, that shh, that implies maybe a real hi-hat. And then this is like the best, or not best, the most commercial mix so far. Like compression, keeping the vocal in place, that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, 2012. Oh gosh. Gang vocals. Sorry, there's a lot about this. This is super, super, super pleasant. It's just like, maybe I can blame this. Can I blame this for why the country music I like started to do this? The thing with the whoa, and it's just like 50 people doing it, or probably more accurately 6 people doing it, recorded 10 times. Like, that sound got into country music really, really bad. Where it's like, hey, you know how normally we just do like a chorus or we do a guitar lick or something? What if we had like 60 voices doing like a simple melody? Then, oh man, then our crowds will know to do that. And then they'll do that. And they'll feel like something more special is happening because they're participating. I get it. I know. That's effective. Like the chorus of Friends in Low Places has a gang vocal in it. That's from 1991 or 2 or something. And it's really effective. And they sound like they really have friends in low places. So I get that it works, and it can be cool. It's just I feel like this ended up in songs that didn't really beg for that concept to be included in the first place. Sixteenth note hi-hat. Oh, claps. Oh, Macklemore claps. Claps on 4. Oh, at least they bailed. And there's a claps and they start to ramp up in volume. Oh, there was a good guitar there in the center for 1 second. There's so much like synth noise, like blobs of sound. There's a guitar player. Neck pickup, kind of distorted. Man, I don't know, dude. He waited 4 minutes into the song to get like a chance to shine. He was very reserved with his decision making when he finally got his chance to shine 4 minutes into the song. It didn't sound out of place. It sounded like it belonged with the rest of the stuff. But man, I would have bent a note or something. I would have been like, oh my God, finally! But perhaps I am less mature. Oh, it's like a 2 major? Right there at the end, they go non-diatonic. That's the second time they've done that. where like they have an entire song that's all like within the key and very, very, very repetitive, and then right at the end they just introduce a brand new chord. I think it was yellow at the very end. They finally like, and it was all yellow, da 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 da, and then they go and introduce the 5 minor, and then kind of end the song. On this one they did like a similar thing there, except instead of a new minor chord that's out of the key, it's a new major chord that's out of the key, and so they have their key of F, like all that stuff, and then they go to G. Oh, what's that B note? That's a B natural. What's a B natural doing in here? And then they end on their 4 suspended thing. The chorus of that slams pretty hard, but not downbeat of a chorus in a band song kind of way. It does it in like a very pop kind of way where it's like, okay, so now all of the like audio regions in GarageBand start. And it's synth sounds left and right, just like big ol' voo. But it's not like a, it's not like the crash cymbals and then now we have hi-hat that's sloshing or anything. In fact, it's just like, it just ticks. I'm gonna try to find like a chorus. Okay, all right. The hi-hat does kind of open up a little bit and it gets kind of crunchy. There's a little bit of that, but there's no like guitar. When I hear music like that, the thing that I feel like I want to hear, because just my friends listen to like pop punk music in their Ford Festivas and everything, is I want to hear like that's the kind of guitar that I was like in my head, oh, okay, it's about to do that thing. And the exact opposite of that mid-rangey like guitar thing is what they do, which is just like blobs of synth sound, like But that's the great part of doing this. Now I know for sure that's what this is. This is the blobs of synth sound if they're like 2012 fans of Coldplay. And they're not looking for the all-time low guitar. They're not looking for the Blink-182 guitar. When it gets big, the point is not guitar diamonds. It's not. Like that's not what they're after at all. Nothing that like aggressive or whatever. It's more like just sound. Just give me like round, non-committal sort of just sound on the left and right. A sky full of stars. Man, it got even more reverby than clocks. Hang on, let me check that. Okay, so this tone is like kind of sort of where we were on clocks as far as like reverb mix goes. Okay, compare that to this. I think that they have even more. Oh, and they're taking the whole mix underwater. What is that? Let me show you what that is. You take the entire mix and low pass it, but you low pass it with like a automation, so it's like.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart.
You know, I think that's the first like really obvious vocal delay where it's like for the purpose of an echo. So there can be like vocal delay that's just for the purpose of kind of feeling swimmy, and then there's ones where it's like you're supposed to hear the lyric again. What's a tambourine doing here? There's a tambourine at this party? Ticket, 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 ticket. Just dead center. Oh, EDM strings. What? What? What in the Kesha? Is this a thing where if you're the guitar player of Coldplay, you're like, yeah, I haven't played in the first 4 minutes of a song in like 10 years. Is it going to turn into that? Oh, no, he got that.
You're a
Boop, 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 boop.
cause you're a sky full of stars.
Oh, there's a nice acoustic.
I wanna die in your arms.
G flat now.
Light of the morning,
Playing all the weird keys.
it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart.
So you got 6, 4,
Go on and tear
1,
me apart.
3 minor to 6. Okay.
I don't care if you do. Cause in a sky full of stars.
Okay. So, yep, 6 minor. 4, 1, and then 6 minor. 3 minor maybe. Okay. That's so dancey. That's so EDM. And then just boom, 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 boom. 4 on the floor. I still got a lot of leaving left to do. What key are you in again? G flat? Oh yeah.
You're a sky full of stars. Such a heavenly feeling. It's such a heavenly
Oh, that's like a stereo dynamic delay there at the end. Little guitar layers there at the end. Okay, all right. Man, Yellow is so different from that. Yeah, that's they changed with the times. They embraced new trends, new tools, new ways of making music. I remember thinking a similar thing about Pantera. Sorry, not Pantera. Haley Williams. Paramore. Think a similar thing about Paramore, where Paramore started out as like whatever Misery Business, I don't know, like just really like rock with very very loud guitars, like loud guitar left, loud guitar right, and then at some point in like 2013 or something, I heard one of their new songs and it sounded like that. It was, or maybe not like that, maybe it sounded more like Paradise or whatever the last one, where it's like, wait a minute, the drum kit isn't like it's like there's electronic sounds now. Wait a minute. Is that a synth bass? Wait a minute. Where'd the guitars go? It's just like vroom, 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 like kind of synth stuff on the left and right. And I remember thinking like, man, if you were like, I don't know anything about Paramore, but if you were like the bass player in Paramore and you got into Paramore because you wanted to be Metallica or something, or you wanted to be like super angry on bass, and then as you know, you went on and on, you're like, holy crap, I'm one of like 300 successful bass players in the world. This is amazing. I can't believe this. And then just like things shift just little by little. And suddenly it's like, wait a minute, I'm playing for an electronic band. Wait, this is an electronic pop band now? What happened? I'm the bass player Paramore. I want to express myself. Oh no, wait. Okay, I'll bring my keyboard. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And by the way, again, no knowledge of Paramore or how that works or anything. I'm just pointing out that's a band that went from like one genre to just a different genre basically. So that's A Sky Full of Stars. What in the world? I forgot. When I was pulling up tabs, I remember there being a CG monkey. I haven't done any research. You're getting this for the very first time from me. I don't know what this is. Adventure of a Lifetime, Coldplay. I think this one was like 2015. Let's see, 10 years ago, 2015. 1.7 billion views. All right. Let's see what these monkeys are all about. This is the music video. I couldn't find just the audio on their official channel. So I don't believe that this is on the record, these nature sounds, but perhaps they are. It's kind of nice. These are CGI monkeys, or chimps or apes, whichever ones don't have the tails, the long tails. This is like PlayStation 3 looking. Alright. He found like a Beats pill. It's literally a Beats pill. What? They're showing the logo to the screen. Hey, we got lead guitar. You know, there could be like a connotation to this that is like extremely negative, and I'm gonna just ignore that. Okay, so this is like Daft Punk now? Alright, rhythm guitar here too. Guitar player gets his moment to shine. Okay, key C. Little like guitar things, chicka chicka chicka, things like that. He's doing some chord inversions. He's picking spots in the neck I'm not used to picking. See, those drum hits hit. Psh, psh, psh. And this is very like kind of disco almost. And that's a creative lead guitar part. That's like a good signature. I like that signature. I don't know how to play that. And someone's like tapping on a glass, like 30 degrees left or 30 out of 100 left, and I felt that in my like eye socket. There it is again. What the heck is that? And then, so that like stitched together sounding vocal in the background, that's like another thing where, jeez, this had to have been like around the time of the Planet of the Apes reboot, right? Jeez. This is Adventure of a Lifetime. Personnel. Alright. Guy Berryman, bass guitar. Johnny Buckland, lead guitar. Will Champion, drums and programming. Chris Martin, vocals, piano, acoustic guitar. But then, Mary Clayton backing vocals. Michael Erickson, additional instruments, production, mixing. Tor Hermanson, additional instruments, production, mixing. Phil Tan, audio mixer. So this guy, Malaysian-American engineer. This guy, Norwegian record production songwriting duo, is these two guys. Okay. And then Mary Clayton, American soul and gospel singer, background vocal. Yeah, so they're mixing oceans. They're they're putting it all in a pot and melting it together. So that's a song that could get stuck in my head, but I literally do not remember a single word in that entire song. There's certain music like that where it's like, it's just the vibe that sticks out and that is memorable. Like it's just kind of like doing that sort of thing, and then obviously, like whatever that signature lick was, that sticks out. The fact that it's like CGI monkeys dancing in the apes dancing in the video is like that sticks out. That's memorable, if nothing else. But I do not know why it's called Adventure of a Lifetime. And what's funny is even songs like that, when they're super, super, super popular, they'll often have a thing about like the writing or the meaning. I wonder if they have that in this page. No, just the first paragraph is music video. The official music video was directed by the band's longtime collaborator, Matt Whitecross. It was released on 29 November 2015. The concept of the video was hatched after Coldplay frontman Chris Martin and British motion capture expert / actor Andy Serkis met on a plane and discussed ideas. It took about 6 months to make the music video, which as of March 2025 has received over 1.6 billion views on YouTube. So they got Gollum. They got Gollum for it. And it seems that they do that a lot. Just like, I mean, I'm only getting like a very small viewpoint of it, but their most popular stuff, they understand that like mixing fan bases is a tried and true, time-tested thing. Like, hey, we have this song, but why just do this song when we can get Logan Paul on this song? Why do this when, you know, what we could actually do is we could do this, but then also we could get iShowSpeed to stream our song for 24 hours. You know, like there's all those tie-ins, and sometimes from the outside they can seem cynical, sometimes they seem true and like very passionate and whatever, and I don't know what the answer for this is. It seemed like they worked hard on that video. Andy Serkis gives us all, from what I understand. But yeah, they seem to have a pattern of like, hey, we're really popular. Let's collaborate with other really, really popular stuff that has like nothing to do with us, and then try to see how many people in our fan base we can share and get to cross over. It also, coincidentally, I seem to notice, did not have any members of Coldplay in the music video, which that's something that sometimes is the case for very, very, very successful bands. Is like, hey, shooting music videos takes like a long time, and these guys are busy guys, and they would rather be doing something other than making a really intense video. And so what if we just hire actors, or what if we do the whole thing animated, or what if we do CGI? Like, I've noticed that for bands who have achieved mega super success, then like sometimes the music videos start to involve them less. And then sometimes it's the opposite, and they're totally in the music video and they're rocking out, and it's just like when they were young. So whatever, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is Hymn for the Weekend music video. I'm going to fast forward until we get to music though, please. Okay, here we go. Huge song, dude sitting on a ledge and he's swaying back and forth. Hand clap, hip hop kick. Dum. A music video for the song features Coldplay in various cities in India, with Beyonce performing in some scenes. Whoa! Okay. Guy Berryman, bass guitar. Johnny Buckland, electric guitar. Will Champion, drums, drum pad, percussion, backing vocals. Chris Martin, lead vocals, piano. Oh, and Beyonce's on guest vocals. Avicii is on additional programming. Wow. Another kind of dancey sort of thing. I hear the chicka chicka guitar on the left. There's definitely more like synth, just like blobs of sound, making the big part what it is. Okay. C minor. You know, with the kick sample they're using, unless they actually did like really record this from scratch, it's so aggressive sounding, especially compared to like the earlier stuff. Like, tum, ta-tum. What is that sound? This is something I don't know that you guys might know, but that like orchestra sound that's in hip hop music, and it sounds like it's 1940s, but also it's like really modern, where it's like like they do it here, like right before the chorus, like that. There's like trumpets and stuff in there. Like, what is that? What is the origin of that? Where is that coming from? Are they recording new trumpets each time and then chopping those up and, or is it like, is this like a meme? Is this, or not a, maybe not a meme because that has like negative or like jokey connotations, but is this like part of vocabulary that that I'm just unaware of? I hear that guy over on the left. I'm feeling drunk and high, so high, so high. Okay. Ba-da-ding-ding-ding-ding. That's kind of a cool little piano thing. So this is the sound kind of that was in my head initially. The track marks a stylistic shift. Turn this down. This track marked a stylistic shift toward a more vibrant sound. Received overall positive reviews from music critics and achieved commercial success worldwide. Okay, so super collaboration. Crazy. Coldplay is like, hey, we're Coldplay, we're famous, but you know who's real famous? Beyonce. And she's not an alternative rock band from the 2000s, so she's completely different. Let's get her on board. Hey, you know what country has like a ton of people? You know what country has like so many people in it that probably don't give a crap about Yellow? But what if we had the music video there, then we could get those people to be fans of us too, because hey, look, this big band from the UK, they shot a big music video with Beyonce and it was in our country, so we like them now. We're paying attention to them. Moves the needle. Let's go to India. Let's do it in India. This is a very savvy band. And forgive me if like, no, you don't understand, Jim. Chris Martin had a friend who died in India, and so he wanted to go there to celebrate the culture of the people that he was around during his like final breaths of his friend, whatever. That could be it. It could be totally that. I have no idea. But at least coincidentally in that case, excellent marketing, excellent packaging, excellent way to cast an extremely wide net with a big musical event. Like, these guys are clearly looking to reach a number of people that has like many, many commas. And continuing that behavior, this is the Chainsmokers in Coldplay, something just like this. Okay. We have another clean guitar with delay effects.
The legends and the myths.
Is that Chris Martin? This is the most auto-tuned I've heard him sound. Code. They're doing the thing again with the moving the low pass. I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts. This is a real catchy thing. This is a catchy melody. 4, 5, 6, 5, 4. Does it ever go to 1? 5, 6. I don't know why I think it might go to 1. It's just not going to go to 1. I want something just like this. Okay, so now they have sidechain compression, and they're doing pumping. So when it has that like dance music feel of like wobbling back and forth like this sort of, where the music like you hear the kick on the downbeat, but you send the kick over to a compressor and have everything else going into a channel with that compressor on it. So when the kick hits, it ducks the compressor, but it's not doing anything to the kick. It's ducking the rest of the music, so you hear the kick more clearly. And so it's kick, and then and the rest of the music comes up after the kick drum.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrolls a suit before he lived. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you
I like this
wanna
melody so
risk?
much. Like, this is such a catchy, pleasant melody.
Some superhuman gifts, some
And at least like verse 2, he's like singing it really pleasantly.
just something I can turn to.
Okay, so the Chainsmokers did production. I don't know who the Chainsmokers are. What is this? They're an American electronic DJ and production duo. Okay. It's like a DJ. DJ Swivel did production. And then it's the four guys. Dude, there's like not a drum in here. And like the idea of lead guitar or like a bass guitar, like where?
Oh, I want something just like this.
Yeah. Okay, band limited keys, so it seems small. Band limited vocals, so it seems small. Yep, raise up the low pass so it starts to feel like it's getting bigger. There's a kick, I guess. Maybe that's from a real kit.
Some superhero, some fairy tale best, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this.
Okay, that's a bass guitar. That could be a bass guitar.
Oh, I want something just like this.
And I guess that's lead guitar. Oh, he bent a string. Man, that's a lead guitar. That's as low as a lead guitar has ever been mixed.
Oh, I want something just like this.
Never once in my life have I heard that before. I am 100% certain I have not ever heard that song in my life. 9 years ago, 2017. I don't know, I was here. I think I was still participating in culture in 2017. I guess I just missed out on that. All right, last song, Coldplay and BTS, My Universe. This is 4 years ago. This is 2021. So BTS, let's do this because I don't know what this really is, and I'm sure that a lot of people who watch guitar videos on YouTube probably don't know what this is. So BTS is a Korean for Bulletproof Boy Scouts? What? Bangtan Sun Yeondan? What? Also known as the Bangtan Boys, is a South Korean boy band formed in 2010? They were formed in 2010? Let's just assume that they were 15 in 2010. That means that, like, now BTS is, like, in their 30s. Okay. All right. The band consists of Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, V, and Jungkook, who co-write or co-produce much of their material. Originally a hip-hop group, they expanded their musical style to incorporate a wide range of genres, while their lyrics have focused on subjects including mental health, the troubles of school-age youth, and coming of age, loss, the journey towards self-love, individualism, and the consequences of fame and recognition. Now, when I hear all that, I expect them to sound like Bob Dylan or something, but that is not what they're going to sound like. Their discography and adjacent work has also referenced literature, philosophy, and psychology, and includes an alternate universe storyline. Okay. BTS debuted in 2013 under Big Hit Entertainment, which is a South Korean record label, with the single Too Cool for School. That is the number 2, the word cool, the number 4, and school spelled SKOOL. Does that make sense? Is that what it was in Korea? Like in South Korea, would it have been Too Cool for School, or would it have been in Korean? I guess I don't know. Okay, they released a bunch of other stuff. The first Korean ensemble to receive a gold certification from the RIAA for their single Mic Drop. So they were fully in America as of 2017. In 2020, BTS became the fastest group since the Beatles to chart 4 US #1 albums in less than 2 years, with Love Yourself Answer becoming the first Korean album certified platinum by the RIAA. You know, in this show I mostly do like older acts that are sort of mostly done making their impact on the music industry, so they're like it's a complete or a close to complete kind of thing. And maybe BTS is like close to complete, I have no idea, but I don't see myself doing a BTS episode, so I don't think this is spoiling, and I don't think this is like cannibalizing what might be another video. But if you are a huge BTS fan, and there's a bunch of you, and you think that a country guitar player in Nashville could like learn something from this that is applicable, then I don't know, maybe I'll get there someday. This is BTS at the 45th American Music Awards, shortly before making their US television debut on November 19th, 2017. So they look like this, and that's who we're gonna hear with Coldplay. Here we go. Ah, 4, 6, 5. Key B major. Oh, funk bass. 4 on the floor dance beat. Ooh. When the morning comes, I watch you rise. There's a paradise they couldn't capture. That bright. Sorry, that's me on the left. This is new. I am not used to this. This is very like Backstreet Boys, like 1996 boy band. That's really what that does sound like vocally. It's just in Korean. What was that? There's like a moment in there where they had like a robot-y voice thing or something. Weird filter feedback. I don't even know. Okay, personnel. I'm not going to read it out loud, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 different things listed for this. Alright, that's Korean rapping. Big string hits. Boom, pum, bum. At least that's what it sounded like before. Maybe it was just like, no, right there. Like big old string kind of, like right downbeat, that kind of thing. I think the bass is fun. There's a guitar in there. They're like contractually obligated to allow the guitar player to make noise at some point. What was that? What was that Sound on Sound article that I read at like the beginning of this episode, where it was like, I like the sound of recording a band. I recorded bands my whole career. I like the sound of recording a band. We cut to tape. I bring my own preamps because it's really important, and like we cut to tape. And then there's this. Bam, 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 bam. Like, it can only happen in computer. They've changed with the times, and they've like been extremely savvy. Like, I can see why they're so globally famous. They take time to acknowledge the existence of places that are not simply farmland in the United States of America, which is something that country music is definitely honed in on a lot of times. Yeah, this is interesting. I did not know that Coldplay was going to span like that much stylistic difference, you know? Like, I was right at the beginning when I heard Yellow, and I was like, I thought it was going to be more polished than that, more pop than that. It is. It was just later. It was just later. They're doing straight up just pop music, and they're doing it with DJs or, I don't know, electronic music producers, and lots of collaborations with lots of people with fan bases, with big fan bases. And then like doing these event type things where it's like, we're doing CGI with Andy Serkis, we're doing India with Beyonce, and we're doing like a thing with BTS. What I did not get exposed to in this episode would have been all their deep cuts. And I know that there is a very real social, cultural, financial imperative for certain entities to remain afloat as high as they can, so that they can do, like, you know, the other half of stuff that's like just for them. It could be that. It could be this. It could be like, I just watched the 10 most popular movies by a certain director, but really what he did that for is so he had enough money to fund his movie that he wrote and like made himself, that was just like a special thing for him. And that's the thing that his fans love. Like, it could be that kind of thing where track 8 on one of these albums is like not Coldplay and BTS, and it was not half in Spanish featuring Shakira or something, you know, like it wasn't like one of those things that's meant to be the thing that like gets the big numbers. And instead it's like more an introspective, like from the heart thing of Chris Martin and his band members like get together and be like, man, you know, we just really want to tell this one story, and so we're going to do that. We're going to put it out on the end of the album, and we're going to, you know, have our big hits and stuff, but our fans will hopefully appreciate that we did this stripped down from the heart thing at the end there. That could exist. I don't know if that exists, because that wasn't the point of this. The point of this was to get the most popular chart smashing, crazy, juggernaut, sledgehammer kind of like kind of hits. So that was interesting. What is Coldplay? Coldplay, at least for a guitar player, is very minimal, non-technical. There's some like chicka chicka either in octaves or could be that kind of neck pickup-y maybe sometimes, and like cleaner. Some of that. They use some drone strings. Like, that sounds kind of Coldplay, right? They started out just straight eighth notes, and they ended up turning into electronic dotted eighth notes, or like syncopated rhythms. That's very different. So like, you can't confuse the BTS song with, or what was it? Like, that's not what that was at all. The drum sounds, I would call them maybe more creative than maximized. They weren't super exaggerated to begin with. They were just kind of room sounds, or kind of hanging back a bit, like not maximizing every possible thing. I'm shocked that the engineer said that he like mic'd the tops and bottoms of everything and used all that stuff, but he did say like, and then I'll just take what I need, and sometimes that's just a kick drum and overheads. It sounded to me more like kick drum and overheads. But then as they get more and more pop, it gets like less and less of that. Might or might not be a kick sample, but it's treated like a kick sample, it seems like. And then the snare sounds are either pop leaning or just straight up electronic. There was like hi-hat in one song. There's probably crash cymbals in there somewhere, but like when the choruses come in, it's like the electronic elements that are kind of giving the like, zoom, we're in a new section of the song and this is elevated. The bass player had some cool moments. At some point it turned into what sounded mostly like kind of synth dominating the low frequencies. I wonder if they get their joy out of the tinkering, and like if the guitar player, he's like, yeah, I play guitar, I'm Coldplay's guitar player, but like also What I'm really into is like programming, and I'm really into like that kind of stuff. I wonder if that's the thing for him. Let me just see. Coldplay, and then Johnny Buckland. What is Johnny Buckland's deal? Johnny Buckland, British musician, he started to play guitar at an early age, taking inspiration from groups such as My Bloody Valentine, The Stone Roses, and U2. His compositions are noted for being sparse and delicate, using delay pedals and slide bars with a timbre that has led comparisons to The Edge. I didn't even know this, but spoilers, U2 is going to be the B-side. I didn't even know this connection, but that's going to be perfect. Buckland has a 2-to-1 degree in mathematics. I literally have no idea what that means. A 2-to-1 degree in mathematics and astronomy from University College London. Okay, cool. Where he formed Coldplay along with Chris Martin, blah, blah, blah. He used to have piano lessons but didn't enjoy them. He was the guitarist as part of a rap group when he was 10 years old and experimented with computer music by using beats that consisted of dog barks. Again, I swear I didn't know this earlier when I went off on that tangent about people who who like have rap beats and music with cat meows or whatever. I swear I did not read this beforehand, and I was not making fun of this guy. He got attacked by a sheep. He went to college. He met Coldplay and joined them. Does he keep his tuner on his headstock? Is that what this is? Does he have a mini tuner on his headstock and he's playing for Coldplay? All right, it's allowed. Whatever, you're allowed to do that. Cool. So Coldplay means a lot of stuff. It means many different things and requires more specificity of the person that you're talking to. If the artist shows up and says, I love Coldplay, you have to ask what year. I love Coldplay. I want to sound like Coldplay. Cool. Do you like out-of-tune bends, or do you like completely electronic Korean music? Because it could be either of those things. So we'll go to the next segment, one piece of gear, one piece of gear. Okay. So the piece of gear for today is going to be Pro Tools. This recording program that I use in every episode is called Pro Tools. Pro Tools first came into existence in like the late 1980s under like a different name, Sound Tools, I want to say, by the company DigiDesign, and then grew in popularity throughout the 90s and the 2000s until it became like basically the standard thing that people used for recording if they're recording digitally. Early on, it had very limited resolution. It was like 16-bit, 44.1K, and eventually like they kept adding features and kept getting better, and they were not the first to add a bunch of features, and they were not always the best. And so I had a lot of professors still hung up on the idea that like no, you need a Windows PC that has Digital Performer on it, and that is the real high quality audio fidelity. I would never let my audio pass through a Macintosh OS with Pro Tools. Like, there's some of that, but at this point, I think that they pretty much have things down. They're super, super expensive if you want to purchase it. Like, even I am on a monthly plan, and I'm on the Pro Tools Artist plan. Like, I'm limited to 32 tracks, but that's the main pain point that they try to use to get you to upgrade to the $200 a month version or whatever it is. And I don't need that. I don't need that much stuff. I did the math, and I was like, can I do all of the music that I've ever enjoyed in 32 tracks? Let me count. Kick, snare, hi-hat, tom 1, tom 2. Could maybe have a tom 3 if I want to. I could do overhead left, right. I could do room left, right if I wanted room left, right. I could do bass. I could do a bass direct or a second bass, and I could do electric guitar. I could do acoustic guitar. Vocal, pedal steel. Like, it got to the point where I was like, yeah, I can do 32 tracks. Like, especially since they count stereo and mono as the same thing, like for track count. So yeah, I'm on Pro Tools Artist, and that is where I plan to be. That's what I'm using for this. I think if I was starting over, I almost certainly would just like use Reaper or Logic or something. I did use Logic. I switched to Logic for like 2 years at one point because I was kind of fed up with certain things about Pro Tools. But Logic does not literally do what I'm literally asking it to sometimes in certain situations. And I kind of enjoy how Pro Tools does not always try to guess what you want. It does what you tell it to. I personally prefer that because that's just what I learned first. And so I'm gonna be a guy who's on Pro Tools. That's kind of what I am. It also means that working with MIDI, a little bit difficult, and I have to do silly stuff like this sometimes if I want to do keys. Pro Tools is what I'm using. This is not a recommendation. This is simply one piece of gear that I use. Next segment, one thing I think. Okay, so one thing I think is that it seems like progressive overload resistance training is a really good idea, and while I don't follow that super duper disciplined, I do attempt to try to do some of that, and I'm going to right now. I'm out of time. Last segment, plug the B-side. The B-side, what's the B-side? The B-side's the Patreon for this podcast or this show or whatever you want to call it. And I just did this for Coldplay, so I do the exact same thing, same process, listen to a bunch of songs, pick it apart, learn some new things, figure out what people have been talking about all these years. But I do it for a related band, so like Beatles, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, that kind of thing. For this, it'll be Coldplay for the main feed that you just watched, and then U2. I'm going to do U2, like Bono, like The Edge, like Pride in the Name of Love, like The Streets Have No Name, like Joshua Tree, like that's basically all I know. So, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to see kind of what's different about it. They're both from Europe. They're both rock bands with rock instrumentation that sound pretty pop and have a lead singer that's pretty like long tones and up high. So I figured they'd be good to pair together. If you're interested in hearing that, go to patreon.com/actuallysoundslike and you can get all of the B-side episodes. It's doubling the amount of Actually Sounds Like that you have access to. So until the next one, hopefully I see you next time.